Welcome back to episode 14 of Trials of Imagination. We are back to play some more Dungeons and Dragons. If it is your first time here, welcome. Hopefully you will enjoy tonight. It is a bunch of us nerd friends that like to gather together and play, as I said, Dungeons and Dragons. This is our second campaign together as a group, with the addition of our lovely friends Richard and Bex joining the second season. This season around, we're playing the campaign known as Curse of Strahd. If you are not familiar with it, it is a wonderful module. I recommend looking into it. Very dark, very fun, a lot of twists and turns. This one is a little homebrewed, so if you are very familiar with Curse of Strahd, it will likely not go necessarily the way that you might think it would. So you are also in for some surprises, even if you are familiar with the territory. But if you're not, then stick around, have some fun, enjoy all the nerds being nerds. We usually do not interact with chat vocally. This is nothing against any of you guys that are lovely and having a fun time, as it seems already in chat, as it's just going nuts. But we have a limited time to do this, and we want to get as much content covered as possible, so we don't try to divert our attention elsewhere. We try to stay in the game, be focused as much as we can, and keep everything going until the end, and then we will try to talk with all of you guys a little bit there. Plus, we put this on YouTube 3 days from now, so this is Tuesday if you're watching this live, and then it goes up on YouTube on Friday. So we also try to keep that in mind whenever we're talking and doing things, so that it doesn't seem so hard to keep up with whenever someone is watching this on YouTube later, because we know a few people that do. So if you try to talk to us in chat and you see us not responding, it's nothing personal, it's just we're just trying to be efficient with our time. But we do discuss with you guys as much as possible in chat itself, so without a doubt, you will probably see people responding to you that are players in the chat. So, that is who we are. That is how this goes. We don't have a ton of announcements this episode. We're kind of rolling through. There will be some stuff next week that will come into play, announcement-wise. So, look forward to that, I suppose. So, come back next week. But stick around for the rest of this episode, yeah, as we play more nerd stuff. There's one thing, at least I'm pretty excited about, that I don't know when we'll be able to announce it, but there's one pretty cool thing coming up that will be a lot of fun, but I have to wait for it to be prepared and ready, so can't be right now. But things are coming, things are in the works, more merch giveaways coming, more giveaways in general coming, more announcements coming, a whole lot of fun stuff, just not this week. That is really all I can think of in terms of announcement territory. SJ, did I miss anything? Or is there anything extra that you wanted to announce?
No. Though it's been a bit, and we have some new emotes. Do we want to do a sticker giveaway tonight?
I suppose we can.
Chat, would you like to have a sticker giveaway tonight?
Yeah, that's when we do it. Chat, would you like a free sticker, potentially?
Chat, who wants a free sticker?
Just roll that into the comments, and if we see it, we'll roll it out. Is that the only other thing you can think of?
That's the only other thing I can think of, yes, sir.
I see one person that says they like stickers, so you know.
I see a couple people who seem to like stickers.
We'll roll with that. So, sure, why not? We'll do a sticker giveaway at the end of the episode. So, all you have to do is literally comment in chat, which most of you have already done. So, you do that, your name will be entered in the pot. We'll do a randomizer at the end. It'll select a name, and somebody will win a sticker, courtesy of SJ. So, yeah. But you have to stay until the end of the episode. Otherwise, you won't really know. And we'll have to track you down and find you and visit your house. And it will be unpleasant for everybody. That is all the announcements.
Who would like to come and visit your house?
No. So that is all the announcements I can think of for this episode. So I think we're ready to hop on in. I know it was kind of quick announcements this time, but we don't have a lot to cover, and I want to play some D&D. So if this is your first time here, we have a little intro video. If it's not your first time here, well, you're going to sit back and enjoy it all the same because we do it every week. So without further ado, let's get into some Dungeons & Dragons.
I have a coin from 1952.
And we're back.
Make me feel young? Or...
So, on
1941.
Last week's episode, which was episode 13? Yeah, 13. Our adventurers found themselves face to face with the devil Strahd himself and had some interesting conversations.
He said he wasn't the devil.
I feel like you got a brain. I'm going to let you use it.
I believe him. He seems like a trustworthy fellow.
Anywho.
He didn't say that he's not the devil. He said that...
That's what people call him.
The super generous has never, ever had anyone give more to charity than he has Strahd met with our adventurers last week.
He didn't say that he's not the devil, though.
He did say he was super rich, though.
Yeah.
He said that that there are people that said things about him that are not true or something.
Correct.
To that effect.
At any rate, so our adventurers met with Strahd and had a variety of different topics and conversations that were brought up, some of which had vague answers and some of which had more riddle answers. So not a whole lot of concrete information was delivered, as opposed to maybe even more mystery or division created or confusion created around certain topics. But there were a few things that might have been potentially solidified. But for the most of the episode, it was more so a conversation between Strahd and our players, as well as the players amongst themselves once Strahd left the building. So that's kind of the whole of what happened last episode, and there's kind of too many things to hit on specifically in a recap. So if you did not see it, I do suggest going back and watching it whenever you can. It is on our YouTube channel. But there was a little bit of things that happened at the tail end of the episode that were outside of the parameters of just the conversing. We did have, whenever everyone kind of split up to go rest for the night, some people went in different directions. Nadar went straight to find the nearest thing of alcohol, of which he did find, and began consuming immediately. Zyle had found Nadar, so that's where he ended up going. Elbreth and Ayla went upstairs to go to their independent rooms and did have a little bit of a serious conversation. That was also worth going back and listening to if you did not hear it. That was really some really good information there. And then they both went to their independent rooms to rest or meditate or do whatever it is that they wanted to do. Mark and Millard were playing checkers, I believe was their choice, that they are kind of at a little side table next to where the eating area was, that they're having a conversation, playing checkers. Mark did have a conversation with Millard about some stuff, and Millard pulled out a note that he had gotten from Ismark's father's corpse that he's been holding on to and handed to Mark at the end of the episode. And of course, we cannot forget the lovely Nadar fell not once, but twice down a flight of stairs after attempting to ascend them drunk. The second time of which was due to getting to the top, reaching for what would have been the head post, except it was the bat that immediately jumped on his face and caused him to fall down the stairs yet again while frantically trying to get the bat off his face, and Zyle is kind of just humorously watching at this point. So that is where...
Kinda.
Yeah, maybe not kind of. Maybe just like...
I didn't get squashed this time, at least.
Yeah, just wholly sitting back and just be like, yeah, I'm just going to let this happen. It's going to be fine. But that is where we left off last episode. Everybody's kind of split up a little bit, I know, but that is where we left off, and more importantly, where we pick up this episode. Now, I would be remiss if we don't pick up immediately with Nadar and Zyle, so we'll go straight there. Nadar, you have finally landed at the bottom of the stair with the bat on your face flapping. Zyle, you are, however you are watching. So what do you do?
I'm just kind of standing over him, looking down, just kind of chuckling.
Is there a coin? Is the bat holding a coin?
Investigation check with disadvantage, because that thing is flailing on your face right now.
I feel like that would give me advantage because I would feel the thing smack in my face, but okay.
No. I mean, you might be able to later, but at the moment, no.
3.
Yeah, you are so drunk, you don't actually really even have a good cognitive notion of what a coin would feel like. You thought you felt it for a little bit, but it was his face.
Can I grab a hold of the bat?
Give me a... What check would we do here? Let's see. Let me pull that back up. Where's Nadar?
I feel like this would be like something like a sleight of hand check.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah, why not? We'll go for it.
10.
You try to grab it, and to no avail, and it makes one last effort of taunting and just like kind of just headbutts you in the face as it flies off. But make a acrobatics check.
17.
Dang, this would have been funny. You do see something fall from its claw as it flies off, and you manage to catch it. And it is another coin.
Yay.
That's acrobatics.
I gave it to him for performance side. Why not? Why not?
I got it.
The 3 coins?
Yep. I didn't get the first one, but I got the other 2.
Yep. So, you now have a coin, but the bat has flown off somewhere in the building and is no longer visible.
So I was just going to look down at him and say, "You were so close to crushing me again."
Oh. Okay. Nadar's going to roll over like a seal, push himself up, and make his way back up the stairs.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
I'm going to continue to watch from the bottom of the stairs.
You know what to do.
We were doing Constitution, right?
1.
It's not a 1.
Dang
I'm
it.
just.
I don't
2.
actually
2.
remember.
I think it was Constitution. Yeah, Constitution saving throws is what I was doing to go up the stairs.
Yeah,
Sure.
I remember. Yeah, it was that.
Sure.
I did. I got a 21.
Third time's the charm. I suppose you did not want to feel the wrath of the stairs a third time, so you really held on to the rail this time as you make your way up the stairs, and you made it to the top.
And now Nadar wanders off to find a room.
Well, you don't just lay down on the floor right there and be like, this is good enough.
No, what's gonna happen is, as soon as he finds an empty room, he's gonna door open, just fall on his face and fall asleep there.
If I was really mean, I would just make him make a save as he continues to walk by like the rafter that has like a little railing on the side just to
Which save?
Yeets through it, but no. we'll be here all night doing Nadar saves if we try to do this as he goes on his way. Okay, so he's making his way to a room. Zyle, what are you doing?
I decided I'd do second watch, so I guess Zal's gonna go up and try to find a room as well.
Okay. You are not inebriated, so you may walk up the stairs like a normal person.
Like a normal person.
Yep. Without a problem. So, good job.
He did it!
And then,
Yay.
before we go back to Mark and Millard, let me ask Bex and SJ, what are your characters doing? Are they sleeping, meditating?
Mine's meditating.
What are
Ayla
you-
is meditating.
Okay.
But then again, how long did it take them to actually go up the stairs? Because she might be done by now.
You know, 10
Hours?
minutes. No, 10 minutes. I mean, he just felt, he like got up, fell
Just
down,
5.
got up, fell down.
I know. She'd still be meditating.
Okay. Bex?
I think Elbereth would have like prayed at first and then went to bed. So it was just a few minutes. Probably like
Okay.
getting into bed.
Okay. But the intent is to sleep.
That's the intent. Yeah, I don't like the way that's worded, but yeah.
I would like to sleep. You will try.
I would like to sleep.
No, Two-Bit, she does sleep, okay?
You're not in charge, little one.
I'm not that much shorter than you. And my
Sure.
character's tall.
Sure. Anyways, so
Roll to sleep.
back to Millard and Mark's conversation. So the last thing they were kind of conversing, and Millard did hand Mark the note that was from Ismark's father's corpse. And I believe you did
Pocket.
tell him where the note was from, right? Because that conversation was had, if I remember correct.
I found it
Ah, that's what you said.
in the house.
Okay.
That's what we know.
Okay.
All right.
So Mark, the letter is currently folded.
We found it in the study, like as we were looking around, me and Elbereth. But what do you make of it? What do you think it's about?
I open up the note and read it aloud.
Okay. It seems to be a letter that at times feels nonsensical. Make a perception check while I continue to explain it. That it partially just seems to be a letter straight to his children that is just addressing, his,
Perception.
just addressing his not guilt is not the right word, but apologies for not being able to be on the be alive longer for them, because he knew when he was going away, so he had time to write this as he was in the passing stage. And it's just more of like a letter to his kids, talking about how he's proud of them and grateful for them, but then there's like nonsensical verbiage throughout that doesn't seem to make sense at times, even though you can construct everything together to seem like it's maybe at first it's just like a weird, like maybe it's just how they talk here, not sure. But it's just mostly of that and giving instructions and or a request for where he would like to be buried, which in this case was next to his wife, which is over in the church cemetery as we've talked before. And just rounding back to a few things about being proud of them. But what was your perception check?
I rolled a net 20 plus 0.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty good roll. So you gather it's going to take some time to study it and figure out what it says, but you gather that this nonsensical verbiage that keeps getting thrown out is not nonsensical at all. It is actually some form of code that is used for some form of hidden message. But,
Okay.
but it will take some time to actually figure out the message, as you've just now seen this for the first time. So you'll need to, I would say, probably need to study it for at least 30 minutes.
Well, we just started the first watch, I guess.
Mhm.
Like, we had a time for a game of checkers that would probably take 15 minutes.
Oh, sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very good at checkers.
Yeah. Well, this letter looks interesting. It looks like there's some sort of code here.
Oh, you think so?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I'll trust you, Mark. So I'm sure. You think you can figure it out?
Maybe.
Sounds good enough to me. I mean, there's no way I'm gonna figure it out. Heaven knows. I've never a heavy studier. Always had lots of other things to do, you know, around the house and stuff.
Could I try and, like, lay out what I think is the code and write it down somewhere?
Sure.
And try and show Millard, see if he can help me, maybe?
Sure.
All right.
Don't see why not.
I guess I'll try doing that.
What do you want me to roll for comprehension? Intelligence
Yeah, probably just straight intelligence for this.
and investigation. Doesn't really matter.
Because well, if I understand correctly, Mark's the one investigating, but he's just relaying to you to kind of see what your take on it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would say intelligence.
Yeah, I got a 15 total.
I think you will both perceive it well whenever you fully crack it.
All right.
Let's see.
What if we put this letter at the end? I heard that was a code once. Like you move all the letters to the front except for the vowels, and then you say A afterwards.
Suddenly, the secret passageway all the way to Strahd's lair, where you can actually backstab him and end the game, has been unlocked.
Success! Final!
Shortest campaign ever.
Well, that's what before you got here.
That's true.
All right, so we can fast forward and say that they play several games of checkers due to Millard's self-proclaimed skill set at it, as well as occasionally studying and, you know, just taking breaks every now and then to not work themselves too hard mentally. But they crack the code, so
Okay.
you guys are going to know what it says. And it is going to, it's kind of going to be broken sentences because it's giving like words here and there, so it's not like a full fleshed out sentences, but you can, given the words and having formed it all together, you can kind of make out what it's saying, which is going to be do not give up. Henrik is the key.
Henrik is the key.
Mhm.
Who's Henrik? Key to what?
That's all it says.
I don't know, Mark. I mean, I know who they say Henrik is. Some old coot out in the wilderness. Or on a mountain or
Yeah.
something. But I agree with you, like, the key to what? Because I still don't trust Mark. I just don't. And if this is from his dad's study, I'm not sure what it could mean.
Okay.
It could be the key to something dangerous.
Is there any other point you guys want to hit on before we actually fast forward a little bit?
I'm gonna take the note and tuck it away.
Yeah, I'll pass it back, yeah.
Tell you what, let's just keep this between you and me right now. No need to worry the other ones about it.
Okay, yeah. I think
Especially if we don't know what it means. You might as well just make sure word doesn't get around that we have the note. I don't want to lose Mark. I don't want to lose his trust, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's holding this house, and I hate to get kicked out.
Yeah. Sounds alright.
Why don't I go grab Zaya? He'll probably he's probably ready for the second watch by now, right?
What time is it now?
Midnight.
Okay, so our 2 hours have expired, basically?
I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get a full rest. Remember, we woke up and we just came down here, so I'm ready for a full night's sleep.
Yeah, I agree. Me too.
I'll go find Zaya, and I head up to find Zaya.
Okay.
I'll head up as well after.
All right. Zao, who's taking watch with Zao?
Well, if it's been 2 hours, I think I can.
Knock, knock, knock. Oh, Zaya. It's your turn.
You just hear him kind of grunt. All right, I'm coming.
You might want to wake up one of the others when you get a chance. And then
Right.
just rush off to my room.
Miller's now safely resting or asleep or whatever he would like to do.
Rob a bank. Are there any banks nearby?
So
At
for
least
some odd
2.
reason, there's 3 regions just right outside. It's the strangest thing.
Nah, it's pretty normal here.
It's like, gosh, everywhere there's a Dollar General every block.
Those aren't worth much to rob.
Facts. All right, and then Mark, what are you doing?
Going upstairs to the room that I did sleep in before, if it's empty.
It is. That's still has
Okay.
the dream catcher in it, so that's your room.
All right.
Okay. So does Zao? Do you wake up Ayla or?
Yeah, I'll go knock on her door.
Okay.
Ayla comes out of the trance, stands up, goes to the door. Our time then, huh?
It's time.
Yeah.
They both begin breakdancing.
That's our secret ritual.
Yep. So
Styles really into hard dubstep.
yes. Oh, he would be. All right. So now it is Zyle and Ayla sitting for their watch, which will give you a chance at a brief conversation if you would like to have it.
I'm a little concerned about Nadar. He was I don't know how else to say it. He was sober earlier.
Yeah, I noticed. That was odd.
He actually kind of talked about things a little bit.
Yes, I noticed in the at the table when after Strahd had left and I was trying to console Arena, and I said something about losing my father and no one else kind of having that same loss. He kind of lost it.
Out of game. Are you out of accent on purpose?
Yes.
Okay. Speaking of things a little off kilter, you've lost your accent again.
Yes. I actually lost my accent many years ago, but I pull it back in when I'm trying to hide, I guess. Growing up, I had the accent, and then when capital, I had to go under strict royal training, if you will, and the accent had to go, according to the Mother Queen Mother, whatever. So, and I lost the accent, or learned how to not have the accent, rather, and after some time, I grew used to not having it, but then when I left the capital, I decided to take up my accent so that I wouldn't sound so royal. But since most of you know now that I am technically a royal, I don't have to think about the accent, but it's still just kind of a nice shield when around others.
Probably a wise decision to do that as well. Like,
Yes.
I know Millard's a little ruffled in the feathers about it, but doesn't change the fact that you're an excellent fighter and a reliable friend.
Well, thank you for saying that. This place is so strange. We've been on many adventures, and none like this.
It's like the very place itself is trying to break us.
Yes. And Strahd's way of with words is not helpful. It's hard to tell really who you can trust.
Yeah, he's clearly used to confusing and manipulating people just by talking.
Mm-hmm. I don't like getting roundabout answers and basically answers that just make you have more questions. It's irritating. I just want the truth. But no, it's a game to him, I can tell that.
He definitely does not seem the type to give you what you need.
Yeah.
You may have noticed my silence during his visit. A little out of character for me when someone's being threatening, but I know I know myself, and I know when to best keep quiet.
Yes, I noticed. Yeah, I was nervous and tried to fill the void, and yes, I know sometimes I talk too much, but sometimes part of me was just trying to get him to leave to some extent while also just wanting to know why we're here and how to get home. I mean, for me, you saw the capital burn, and all the royals were there, and as far as I know, then I'm the last one, so I need to get back and, you know, see what is to be done. It's my responsibility as second ruler. I don't even know.
And he gave us precisely 0 information on how to do that.
It sounded like he didn't want us to leave. He
No.
has some sort of twisted purpose for us here.
Apparently, he wants us to fight in a war where we have to choose a side that we don't know the sides.
Yes, that is the strangest thing. Why wouldn't you pick someone that you knew would fight for you, instead of picking someone where it's like they may fight for the other side? It doesn't make sense.
I've had a few commanders in days past I've reported to that he reminded me a lot of.
Yeah.
They were really full of themselves, and really arrogant, and most all of them met with some pretty terrible ends as a result.
Did he not say he was immortal?
He did. I've yet to meet a man that can't be killed, though.
Yes, but I think this man will be a lot more difficult. I don't know if that is our best option anyways, just to kill him. Seems like this whole city, country, is under his thumb. I don't know if he's the one who's, in a sense, holding this entire place together just so he can have his own amusement with it, or if he would be taken out of the equation if this place could actually flourish.
You can't help but wonder, because it seems oppressed at the very best.
Yes. But there are other creatures out there other than Strahd. Whether or not they're under his ruling is
Right.
still a mystery.
Do we trade one tyrant for another for this place?
Right.
Sometimes the devil you know really is better than the devil you don't.
Too true. Too true. How are you doing, by the way, there's been so much going on, and I have noticed your, how do I put it? Agitations and such.
I've been better, to tell you the truth. I didn't think, I should know better, but I didn't think Idris could... I just didn't think it would happen to him. And, he was helping me a lot in ways that weren't very apparent. He, was helping hold the nightmares at bay, but now they're back.
Oh, I'm sorry. It is odd that he's gone and yet we can still talk to him, you know?
That's
It's not him, it's like a memory of him, I guess.
it's probably the most Idris thing he could have done.
Agreed.
You would have thought he would have programmed himself some better jokes for the afterlife, though.
Oh, him and his jokes. He tried so hard.
He really did. They were always so awful.
So bad.
Ah, I miss him.
Me too. I am very thankful for him, though. He tried
As
so
am I.
hard to rescue my brother. I really hope it was not in vain.
I hope so, too. But I can guarantee you he didn't hesitate for a second when he thought about it.
I know. Well, is there anything I can do to help you with your nightmares?
Honestly, I don't know. If you can think of something, I'm game, but it's kind of looking like I've run out of runway and I can't run from him anymore. I'm just gonna have to face him.
Yeah. Well, it seems like you're not the only one who's fighting nightmares here.
Seems to be the theme, yeah.
I'm fortunate it has not happened for me yet, but with everyone else going through it, I assume my past demons and fears will come upon me at some point.
I just feel like this place preys on that. If we can stop it, I'll do everything I can, but honestly, I'm afraid there's nothing we can do.
I know. Well, we'll see what happens. It's a memory I don't want to revisit. As to which memory, I'm not sure which one this place will conjure in my dreams. Meeting the queen for the first time, that was awful.
I
She
don't
did
envy
not
you
like
that at
me.
all.
She did not like me in the very least.
That's probably the very reason why I like you.
The king, however, her son, my uncle, he's like a second father to me. He was amazing. He told me I reminded him of my father, his brother. I think that's why he enjoyed my company so much. Because I could remind him of good times, you know? But he was a great man, great king,
There's far too few of those.
indeed. But yes, his mother, on the other hand, she was a piece of work. The reason I had to get rid of my accent in the first place.
Ah,
She liked my
Well, I hope you
siblings
made-
just fine, though. But that was so superficial. But it's a good thing she liked my brother. At least he had that.
well, I hope you gave her as hard of a time as you could. Sounds
Any
like she
chance I
deserved
could.
it.
Yes. And the twins, my younger siblings, they definitely had my back on that one. They are a mischievous pair. She didn't care one way or the other about those two because they didn't carry a title, whereas I had to carry a title. 'Cause I was second born.
Oh, such
So-
a weird system, isn't it?
So, Zao and Ayla continue conversing throughout the rest of their watch, and no problems. Everything goes smoothly, no crazy sounds, no hiccups or anything. And it comes to the end where it's your guys' turn to go get Elbreth and Nadar for their turn. So do you go get them?
Yeah, I guess I'll go get them. It's
I
now
feel like
my
Zal's
watch
is like,
is ended.
I
Wait, what
really
time
don't
is
want to
it?
get out of this chair.
What time is it?
Adventure time!
My old bones.
Somewhere around like
Full
you know,
time.
2-3ish in the morning. If you're
Okay.
taking like 2-hour watches, you know.
Okay.
From a bank.
I go upstairs as well and go back to my room to meditate some more.
Do you just go straight to the
So-
room, or do you grab somebody first?
Well, I thought Zyle was.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
getting the next watch.
All right.
Good luck getting Nadar.
I'm gonna get Elbereth first, so I have some help.
Not a poor decision. Okay, so you get
So
to
I'll
Elbreth.
just rap on her door.
Hello?
I hate to give you the bad news, but it's time for a change of watch.
Like I've been here 5 minutes, and then I'll get up and go out into the hall.
The badder news is that we got to get Nadar up somehow.
Look around. Notice that there's no second person helping. Ayla smart.
Yeah, she snuck off before I could catch her. Oh man, I thought I had lesser restoration prepared, but I don't. That was an oversight.
No.
All right, well, you ready to try this?
All right, yeah, let's try.
I'm just not even gonna bother knocking on the door.
You just
Nadar, isn't the door open still, and Nadar just basically face first on the ground right inside the door?
if that's how you left it.
I believe that's what I said was going to happen.
All right.
Yep.
Door's open. The door's on the floor.
Par for the course.
There is a flight of
So
stairs.
how do we do this?
I call feet.
You beat me to it. Fine. Okay.
Oh,
So I'll go up, get him under his shoulders.
Okay, strength checks.
wait, are we doing the flying birdie or the scooch the pooch?
I think this is a scooch the pooch.
Okay. Because remember what happened last time when we tried to do two different things.
Yeah.
He was out of commission for like 2 weeks at least.
That was bad.
Oh,
I'd almost forgotten that one. All right, so scooch the pooch. We're decided, right?
Yeah. I rolled a 5.
Natural 20, baby. 22 total.
okay. So with Scooch the Pooch, What is the attempted method here? Are you?
No, you have to imagine it. They already told you.
All
I
right.
told you, this is all on you.
Okay. I want to make sure. Well, I didn't want to botch it if you had something in mind, but okay.
You got this. We believe.
Oh, I mean, I'll gladly make
You
something.
scooch the booch.
Okay, so imagine Scooch and then the
Yep.
Pooch.
Well, so Zyle is, at the upper body, so he's got all the weight, and he's prepped and ready, and he's getting ready to do the hardcore scooching. He's gonna get ready to shove Nadar across the floor, and Bex goes to do it, but given the way he passed out, some of the alcohol from his beard and from anything left kind of got over his pants and legs, so his legs are a little slick. So she's just going to go to yank it and just slips right off. So as Zal's pushing, it just kind of stops. And his arms just kind of go straight, and he just goes whoop, and literally flips on top of Nadar, so that nothing happened, and you're just now laying. You flipped, and your back is now laying on top of Nadar, who is still passed out and unfazed.
So I'm kind of looking up, and I dart my eyes over to Elbereth, and I say, maybe the roly-poly guacamole was the way to go here.
Wow.
I feel like that's better when there's 3 of us, but I could try.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna try it anyway.
I hear him land on Nadar, and I'm like, I should probably help them. So
Yes,
I look
we
out.
guilted her into it.
I look out my door and see Nadar's feet outside of it with an Elbereth, and I hear them say, what was it?
Roly-poly guacamole?
I hear a faint roly-poly guacamole, and then I walk over and say, I guess I'll be the third.
We're in good shape now.
Yep. With 3 of you, I'll be nice. So you successfully
I don't even get to roll yet.
get to roll a dwarf. Since he's short, it's not as hard to have to navigate it this way, so you can successfully roll him like a little tortilla or burrito across the floor as you just kind of roll him towards the stairs, and then you have a pivotal decision to make because you're at the top of the stairs with this dwarf that you've been rolling. But you stopped at the moment, but you have to get him down the stairs. What do?
Have you guys
I
just
nudge him.
tried to put
Nadar
me-
rolls over in his sleep down the stairs.
That makes it easy.
I did.
Well, I wasn't expecting that, but it's done now.
And he's still asleep at the bottom.
Okay, so the problem's not done.
Problem's not done, but it saved you a bit of time.
Whether it be by still being drunk and passed out, or by being knocked unconscious by the amount of times his head smacked a stair on the way down, Nadar's not moving. So he is at the bottom of the stairs, not moving.
Alright, I'll look for there's wine down here somewhere.
I'm
In
going to
the
check
kitchen.
his pulse, make sure that did not kill him.
How loud
I'm
was
gonna go grab
this?
the wine from the kitchen.
He's a dwarf, pretty loud.
I'm just wondering if the rest of us woke up.
We were making no effort to be quiet, I
Right,
don't think.
so I guess it depends on how heavy of a sleeper your character is, but it very easily could have.
Should we roll or something? Or...
Technically, to stay asleep, you're supposed to make a Constitution saving throw.
Sure. You make Constitution save.
I
So-
stay asleep.
You do?
I rolled a 20.
You do. You're super asleep. Millard
I'm
is
tired.
apparently a hard sleeper. Unless maybe if I get the sound of pouring water, then maybe it'll just cause him to jump out
Oh, that's
a
just
window.
instant. Be like,
All right, Mark, Constitution save. You're muted. I don't know if you said what you rolled or not. Or if he's even rolling. I can't tell. Liam, Constitution save. Muted.
See, did he roll on?
Liam, you're
no,
muted.
he didn't.
When
He
you're
got
ready.
a 5.
You muted yourself.
Right.
There we go.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I got a 5.
A 5. Okay. You woke up to the sound of just. You may decide what you do with that, but you did wake up.
I'm gonna go see what happened.
Okay. You get up and see Ayla, Elbreth, and Zyle at the top of the stairs, Nadar at the bottom of the stairs. Not hard to surmise at least what occurred. You don't know why, but not hard to surmise what occurred.
Alright. What are you guys doing?
I just kind of look up, roly-poly guacamole, Nadar's watch.
I see.
Yeah,
Yes,
you can go back to sleep.
Yeah, alright. Good night.
Good night. He rolled himself down the
Alright.
stairs behind you. We did not do that.
Golly. All right. Well, Nadar's still at the bottom of the stairs, passed out, not moving. What do you do?
Well, I already said I go down the stairs and check
check.
his pulse.
And
Make sure he's alive.
Beck said you
I
were
went
checking.
to look for
Right.
for wine.
It's in the
yeah.
kitchen, so not too far away. And then Zyle.
I will just go down to the stairs and prepare myself for the inevitable task of dragging him to a chair.
Okay. So, Bex, you find the wine without a problem. It's in the kitchen, which is not too far away. There's still plenty of it. And Ayla, there's a pulse. He's fine. He's just either conked out from the stairs or conked out from alcohol or both.
I roll him onto his side.
He's only mostly dead.
I'm gonna grab a cloth, pour some wine on it, over his head, and just kind of.
Are you
Bring it
gonna
out.
Drip it
waterboard
onto
him
his
with
face.
wine cloth? Like,
That's what I heard.
that's
Yes.
what's gonna happen here.
No. More like just the
No,
jar
don't do
Wow.
that. Waste
here.
wine. Just
twisting
hold
over it,
under
not
his
onto
nose.
him.
Just hold it under his nose.
It's dripping onto his face already. I don't even know what to tell you.
Okay. Nadar, what?
He's
what
already
work
too
sometimes.
drunk. The
I rolled a
weak wine is
16
not
to
going
stay
do it.
asleep. A 16 to stay asleep.
Okay, but there's wine, so that's disadvantage, right?
I would say so.
Okay,
There's
I'll roll
wine
it.
on your face.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's an 8.
You wake up.
Sleep time. Nindar
I
says
like
as he rolls
move out
over.
of the way as he wags his arms around.
It's actually watch time, buddy. You've been asleep for a while.
Your turn.
That was never told me.
What?
Nindar then stands up. Where's the pineapple? Oh.
Pineapple?
This is a pineapple.
Does anyone know where that bat is? I think that might could wake him up.
There was a bat.
Nindar just starts wandering around the house, just wobbling
How
all
many
over the
bats
place.
are there?
Well, 3 so far. Or maybe it's the same bat. We can't really be sure.
Wait, the same bat with the coin?
Yeah, it attacked him at the top of the stairs earlier.
Wait a minute. Is it a coin from Barovia? Because we don't have coin from Barovia.
You didn't say, did you? So, it's a good question. Good luck getting an answer. He's got them all, and I'm going to point at Nadar.
Mm-hmm.
Dar, do you have coin from bat? If it's Barovian coin, we can buy more alcohol.
Where's the bet? I want that as a bet.
Well, let me see the coin so we know how much we have.
What coin?
The coin's from the bat.
What bet?
The one that keeps giving you the coins.
Oh. What bet again?
I stare at him. The one who keeps hitting you in the face.
Oh. I go look for the bat.
Natar! Natar, you have to give me the coin so we can go buy the alcohol, remember? That?
This is going about as well as I anticipated.
Where'd the bat go? Did I
We're
still
running
looking
around
around?
the dining room table.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab for his money pouch.
Okay.
I think he left the money pouch upstairs.
Oh gosh.
I feel like you need to be playing yakety sax right now, Matt.
Yakety yak.
Yeah.
Don't call that.
If he passed out, I think it would just still be on his person.
Maybe, I don't remember. He
Um,
might have like tossed it out. I didn't say whether he tossed his stuff in the room or not, so
I think it's still on his person.
yeah, we can say it still is.
What would be? Make a sleight of hand check.
And I suppose
18.
Is it 18?
Yeah.
You manage to snag it as he continues to wander around aimlessly and does not notice in the slightest.
Do I notice that she grabbed it?
Well, yeah, she did it right in front of all of you.
Well, he didn't notice.
She wasn't trying to be sneaky about it. He's just drunk.
Okay. Alright. How many coins are there?
Alright, I check.
There's 75 gold. 75 gold. 25 silver and 3 electrum.
Which are the
Electrum? Okay.
So 3 coins that you're asking about.
Or 3
Right.
silver, 25 electrum, 75 gold.
Okay.
Do they look different from the money we're used to?
Yes, they definitely do not look like any coin that. So Bex is the only one looking at it right now, so it
Right.
does not look like any coin you've ever seen.
How many do we have, Albert?
I handed them to Ayla and put his pouch down on the table. But I
Wait,
took
did
the
you
3
just give me
coins.
the
and had-
3? You just gave me the 3
Mhm.
coins? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I look at them, and I stop.
Hold on 1 second.
Mhm.
Let me readjust. Okay. For the sake of
Bat
I'm just gonna-
flare.
I'm just gonna leave Nadar's token like right here. So are you looking at it like kind of on the table? Is that what I was understanding?
No, you handed them to me, right?
I mean,
Handed
like,
the 3
where
and then put
are
the
you?
rest on the table.
Yeah. So you're standing near the table.
Yeah.
Well, I had, I guess, grabbed the thing from him and then, but yeah, then I went back to Ayla.
Right. And he's just stumbling around.
Right.
Okay. So Ayla, when given the coins, kind of just like staring at him, doesn't pay much attention to any of you and just sits back down in a chair while staring at the coin and is quiet.
So what's with the coins?
Are you asking her or are you asking me?
Yeah, I'm asking Ayla.
I know this coin.
What is
But
it?
I didn't think anything of the coins when I saw them, right?
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
Wait. I think Bat had coin. Nadar now reaches for like his money thing, trying to see if he can lure the bat out with a coin.
So you're just reaching for. Well, the sack is on the table, so yeah, so you can get it without a problem.
Yeah.
I just hand him it back.
Okay.
Nadar now starts holding on. Goes, here, Bat, and just is wandering around, waving the coin in the air.
Sounds about right.
Genius. Can only work. Okay.
So I'm just staring at the coin. So she gave me the coins, and I sat down.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like a very graceful seating. It was like a weight of the world on your shoulders, sat down, distraught. So Zyle asks, what's with the coin? And I say, I know these coins. The first time I saw these coins, there was one on my father's body when he died. When he was killed. If these are Barovian coin, the one who killed my father is here.
How did they even get to your father?
My father was assassinated. The coin was left on him like a tag. I assumed it was something to do with him being a royal, about him being a second. And I don't know, but if this coin is from here, this changes everything. I need to know where this bat is getting these coins from, and if this is Barovian coin. I clutch the coins in my hand.
How long have these people been watching all of us?
I do not know, but I need to go meditate. I need to find.
Why am I awake? Nadar now just flops over and falls asleep again.
I don't even finish my sentence. I stand up and just go back to my room.
Okay. So Ayla exits the room.
Not now, but I think we might want to look at those later to confirm that they're from here and not that whoever that is also was brought here. There's another. I mean, either way, it seems like they're here, unless somehow but the bat has a supply of them. Or bats. That part's still confusing.
This place gets stranger and stranger every minute.
Agreed.
So, you don't really have a lot of help on your watch. Would you like me to stick around and help you out? As he kind of looks at Nadar passed out on the floor.
I look around. Is there like a vase?
A vase?
Vase. A vase, if you prefer.
There's a Big. Yeah.
Sure.
There's one like over here.
I'll just point to it and be like, "It's all right. I have a backup plan in case something happens."
Ah.
All right. So
I'm trying to think of a name really fast. I'm
I
blanking
knew
out.
I knew wheels were
Base
turning. It's like somebody's trying to come up with a name for something.
It's just a
The
simple base
checkmate
face.
crash.
Base face.
The best I came up with was the ceramic crunch.
So
Yeah.
As a player, I'm not against that name.
Zyle, so do you proceed to go upstairs or?
Yeah, I'm just gonna say to Elbreth, if you need anything, don't hesitate to come get me. And I'll head off to bed.
And that leaves Elbreth and a passed out Nadar.
After like a little bit, I'm just gonna take the checker pieces and start laying them on him. Just kind of like bored.
Nice.
Checker or chess?
Checkers.
What was it? Checkers or chess?
Chess.
It was
Chess.
checkers. No, it was checkers.
It's checkers.
Oh, it was?
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, just gonna take them. Just kind of like looking around, keeping an eye out, and then just just like nonchalantly, just bored, just kind of like placing them on his like arms and legs and stuff.
Nice.
That's a fun game.
So a little time goes by, and for sake of narrative, I'm gonna say about half of the shift goes by, and Nadar wakes up, now beautifully decorated with checkers, and it just a wonderfully crafted pattern, and sees Elbreth just kind of standing above him, just with a grin. And you're not sober, but you're not as drunk as what you were.
What happened?
Well, I didn't win, but I also didn't lose.
Well played.
Nodar just gives a confused look and proceeds to go sit on a chair, knocking over the beautiful creation that is on his back.
Yeah, when you go to sit up, you just little plastic pieces, or whatever material. I guess they would probably be wood.
Wood.
Fall down.
I just look and I'm like, ugh. Nadar then goes and slumps in a chair. Why is there some of my money on the table still? Why is it on the table at all? Nadar didn't put it all back in because I assume they got to the silver was they had to dump everything out.
Don't worry about it. It's just pick it up and hand it to him.
Thanks. Why does my head hurt?
Oh, right. The roly-poly guacamole didn't really go as planned.
Huh?
You decided to go for a little ride. It's been a struggle to try to get you to take your shift, but
What shift? Was it not morning?
no, it is not morning. Welcome to the shift.
It's too early. sleep.
Yeah, I want to sleep too, but we're watching right now. You remember we're in another land, a lot of weird stuff going on. I don't know if that's any ringing a bell. You were a little weird today.
Weird land rings a bell. Though I've seen weird, so I'm gonna just go sleep upstairs.
No, you're not.
We've done weird already, though.
Yeah, but we haven't done dead, so let's stay down here and keep an eye out.
I mean, how do you know I haven't done... That sounds weird coming out.
Well, we need to keep the others safe, and we're gonna keep watch, and you're gonna stay down here. And I let you sleep because you've been weird today. You've been sober, but now you're awake and you're gonna stay awake. Do you remember that?
Maybe. And then a look of realization flashes over his face. Let's not talk about that. I go and find more alcohol.
Are you sure? I mean, I know this is normally what we do, but, like, are you sure you don't want to talk about it?
No. He proceeds as he starts filling his water skin with wine.
Okay.
And he comes back and just starts drinking.
Well, everybody saw you this time. I know something else is up with you.
Nope, nothing's up. This is normal. No, everything's fine. No, stop.
Okay, sure, we'll go with that.
So how are you today? Dar says almost forcefully for his like
Nice,
that.
nice deflect.
Midar is so smart.
Right, today's been a lot, right? I remembered about the time that I died. I watched Millard cuddle with a dead guy, and then the devil visited.
Wait, you died before?
Right, I've told you this, I think, but that was one of the moments you were sober.
I probably remember it then.
Maybe you were drunk? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I thought I told you that when we first met. I don't know. But
I don't know. He's saying like all this between like sips of alcohol.
But yeah, I died, and then that's when I was staying with a dwarf family when I was recovering.
Do you remember the family name?
Deep Crusher.
Never heard of them.
Yeah, it was a bit far from. A bit further from where I met you.
Are there any loose pebbles on the ground?
Pebbles?
House.
Yes.
Checker pieces.
There's there's checker pieces, but you're in a house, so no, there are no pebbles.
Are there pebbles in the front hallway by the stairs? Nidar maybe chipped a rock or something on his way down the stairs.
Are there fruity
What
pebbles in the
rock?
I don't know. Aren't the stairs made of stone?
No.
You're in a house.
Everything's made of wood. Like, what
It's a
are
very
you-
flammable house, then.
Yeah.
Let's hope Nadar doesn't come swinging with a flame blade. If he could.
No pebbles.
I wanted to use my stone cutting ability because I get proficiency in a history check when
Too bad.
getting the history of stone.
For what?
I just wanted to see if I could guess the history of the stones in the house.
It is one of his abilities,
Yeah.
to be fair.
Yep. I mean, there's none to be found, but
Okay.
I suppose if there were,
I mean, Nadar's
you'd know
looking
them.
Yeah. I would know history.
Dar's literally just setting up a moment later to be like, look at the history. He's like, I like that boulder. That is a nice
Nice
boulder.
boulder.
I'm taking that boulder as a pet.
Now Nadar is southern. Great. Southern Nadar could only go well.
We really don't want to see what Florida Nadar would do.
Nadar is basically already Florida man. He doesn't really need help.
No, he would be Florida Man times 7 if he was Florida Nadar.
Local area Nadar.
So
He uses alligators as weapons.
Yes.
we will fast forward a little bit so time passes by, whereas in the previous ones you came to get the next watch. With this one, we'll say whether it be by their own devices or by being restless and not being able to sleep, Mark and Millard actually both come to you guys first as opposed to you guys coming to them.
Yeah. Oi. Breakfast time, right?
Oh, thank goodness. I'm just gonna get up.
Nadar's just gonna fall asleep in the chair that he's in.
Well, hey, look, I had a fun night.
So, Elbert, you just leave the room?
I'll just be like, yeah, good luck with Nadar. He's good news is he's back to normal.
Looks at Nadar. Yeah, it sounds good enough for me. Hey, Mark,
You,
you want to go keep an eye on Nadar? Like, I'm gonna poke around a little bit.
You're muted.
Muted.
That's weird.
Alright. Is Nadar sleeping in the chair?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I see. Alright. I'm gonna go over and take a seat on the chair.
On top of Nadar.
A chair.
Gotcha.
Not the same one.
Just-
I'm
I don't
gonna
think you want to
go-
be in the same chair as the sleeping dwarf.
Is it like dawn now? Like we can see outside?
not quite. You are very close, though. It will happen within your watch.
I'm gonna walk outside of the house and do some poking around.
Not even light out.
Okay.
You said it was close.
But close is not there.
That's
I mean, you can
bold.
still see. You can still see before dawn. Like there's light.
Yep. Okay.
And I'm sneaky.
Okay.
Alright, with no one
You don't believe
conscious-
me? I have like a lot of sneak.
I have
Don't be
so much
suspicious.
sneak.
Don't be suspicious.
with
I make
no one-
sneaky people look not sneaky.
You think Batman sneaky? Well, he is, but yeah, I'm like that, but better.
But
If-
I'm not as good as Batman, but close.
I'm like 90% Batman, 10% insane.
With no one with Nadar sleeping, I think I want to see if I can look out a window or something, because I don't want to sit around and do nothing.
I mean, there's a window right behind you, so you can do that. But
Actually, I should read my wizard's book to just prepare spells for the next day.
not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay, so Miller's gonna try to go outside. Oh boy. The second you open the door, make a stealth check.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Please be good.
8. That's a great number.
Is it after the +3?
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that's up to the +3.
Okay. Okay.
I opened the door.
Okay. This is fine. This is
No,
fine.
it's not. This
Everything's
is not
fine.
fine.
This is
It's
fine.
not
Everything's
fine.
fine.
Everything is fine.
There's
Everything
nothing
is
okay
Everything
about
is
almost
this.
not
okay.
awesome.
So,
Plug your "this is fine" emotes in chat if you want.
so you go outside. It's still a little hard to see because of a combination of how, clouded and foggy it is, and the sun not actually being up. So it's not dawn just yet.
I'm looking for the creature that chased us. Like, I'm aware that it could be out there.
Make a perception check additionally.
Oh, this one's way better. This is
Good.
a 22.
Good. So, upon
As I
coming,
peek out the,
upon coming
as I step
outside
out
immediately,
outside the door, throughout the mist and haze, I see something.
you
I don't know.
see the shape of the figure. So it's at the wood line, so it's going to be possible to see clearly. But you
I can see
you got the second you kind of locked, you realize not only do you see that it's still there, but you know that it has a fix on you and it has noticed you.
I walk back in the house, but I leave the door open.
Okay.
Not like on purpose. I forget.
Cool. So
No. This is to play in the character. I'm
Yep.
talking to chat.
Yep. All right. So, what does Miller do now?
I walk back to Mark.
Okay.
Alright.
Oi. So I took a peek outside, and it's pretty close to daylight. And I thought I'd like to see Millard's yard, or Ismark's yard. And it's still, there might be a creature out there. What do you think we should do about that, Mark?
I'm just reading my spell book right now. I'm trying to decide what spells I want to prepare.
Yeah, that's a pretty good idea. I would say you prepare something for dealing with large, shadowy creatures.
Maybe.
Also, I would wake Nadar up like right away.
Why?
I
He's
look
outside.
around. I pick up like, what's on the table that I can pick up?
You know, like
I pick up a bowl.
for weapon wise,
And I
like steak knife.
No, no, no. I just pick up a bowl and I throw it at Nadar.
Oh, sure. Ceramic bowl.
Yep.
Let's see.
Ceramic crunch.
I mean, he's passed out. I'm gonna say you're so close that's not hard. So you just smack Nadar with a ceramic bowl, and you're definitely gonna wake up to that one, Nadar.
I then run upstairs and wake everybody else up.
What you doing?
There's a freaking monster outside.
So the monster was outside the whole night. Why are you waking everyone up?
He's already gone up.
I'm just saying, it's like really close to the house, and I want everybody to be ready. This is why we're on watch, in case this stuff happens.
I have a question outside of Gabe.
Outside the whole
Do
time.
we know that he tends to just leave doors open?
That would be a Millard question.
Yeah.
I feel like they would know that I'm very successful at getting stuff, stealing stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but I tend to not get away with it all the time, which is
So
why we have so.
Have we seen you?
This is why we have so
forget?
many code words.
Are you good at like
For
opening
stuff that-
doors, bad at closing them?
I mean, in fairness, I mean, a rogue's
Okay.
proficiency is
Okay.
to unlock doors, not to lock
Upon hearing that he was outside, I get up, run
Hey, guys,
downstairs
get up.
to the front door.
There's a monster outside, and I just thought you all should know because that's my job. Yeah, I was being like the first member on watch. I know Mark's out there too, and he's helping me a lot by getting Nadar up. But I definitely think we should all be awake right now.
I slam the door and yell, "Miller! You need to stop leaving the doors open! If there's a monster outside, you don't want to let it in!"
Very, very shortly after that outburst, you're going to hear footsteps from across the house quickly, and Ismark kind of appears rather quickly. Like, look like he just like quickly threw on his clothes and like his hair is a little nappy, and he's just like, "Okay, I heard yelling. Is everything all right? Is someone hurt? Did someone fall down?" Or
I'm panting
talk
because
to-
I ran down the stairs to like slam the door shut.
did devil show-
Everything is fine. Just that the idiot forgot to shut the door after, for some reason, he thought it was best idea to go outside. Ah! I stomp off toward the kitchen. I'll make breakfast. Ah.
Ismark is just gonna turn to the rest of everybody. Is she okay?
You know, I have no idea what she's talking about. I think she just gets that way sometimes. But my friend, like, I just got no explanation for it.
Did you forget to shut the door?
No, I would never do that. Look, I'm very capable and calculated when it comes to doors. You know this, Mark.
He is a very trustworthy person. Nadar says, pointing to Millard.
Make a persuasion check.
Yes.
I mean, you're really good at those. 2?
No. +3. I got 5.
Okay. Do I get
To be fair,
make an insight check?
Mark has known me for a long time.
Can I make an insight check?
Yeah, go ahead. You don't really need it, but sure.
7 plus 2.
Yeah, that beats my.
It beats it. So yeah, you see right through it. You can do what you
Nadar
want with
doesn't
that.
see through it.
But Mark
Actually,
sees
it's
through
a
it.
6 for
Yeah, you had a +6
Deception.
on persuasion.
deception.
Oh, you made
Do I?
deception. Gotcha.
Oh wait, no. Okay, I rolled a 5. No, I rolled a 5, so I have an 11 on persuasion.
Okay.
I was reading perception.
Yeah, I was saying persuasion.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
then you persuaded me.
Yep. So
Sweet.
he actually thinks you didn't do it.
Nadar just trusts him anyway because, like,
Zone of deception.
Just like, did you do that? Nah. Doesn't sound like me.
Nope.
it might have been me. Might have been me.
What? What might have been you?
I don't know. What are we talking about?
I'm just saying. It's not even my door. Like, it's not my house. It's this guy's
So?
house.
Okay.
I point at his mark.
Okay, I will go make sure doors shut properly.
Oh no, it's fine. It's probably. I'm sure you did it last time. I'm sure you shot it well the last time.
You do not survive here long, probably. So I will go check.
I nudge Mark. See, look at this guy. He doubts himself. Like, he's...
It's better safe than sorry. No, I go check. So he
I'm just
walks
waiting
off
for him.
to
Does
do
he
that.
get eaten? I don't know why I don't like this guy.
This is poor Eastmark. Gosh, I freaking hate that guy.
I just invite a monster into his home real quick.
Right. Is everybody else downstairs at this point? Because like everybody was woken up by Millard, so I was just making sure as everyone proceeded downstairs by this point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm still studying my spell book.
Okay. Irina is now going to pass into the kitchen, which is where you'd pass like before coming to where all you guys are, and kind of sees Ayla in her mood, we'll say. And she looks more, she took her time to get prepped and ready, so she looks awake and alert, and she's just looking at you like, long night?
More like an annoying morning.
Just kind of shrugs and keeps walking by. So you guys are all now in there. Let me think of how to properly approach this. Okay. You all see Ismark walk back in the room and looks kind of in a state of concern and shock.
What's up, Bismarck?
He's back and standing outside, waiting to talk to all of you again.
Who's back?
Strahd?
Yes.
What's Strahd doing here? I'm gonna get up and out of the chair. Actually, am I done preparing my spells?
I'd say so.
Okay. I'm gonna get up out of my chair and walk over to the front door.
Okay.
Did we get a long rest out of this?
I'm going to say everyone gets benefits of long rest.
Okay. Even though I slept for only like 4 hours?
I'm going to give it to you.
Okay.
I will not argue with you.
It's in your best interest to accept this.
Oh dear. It's in our best interest, y'all.
I didn't set this in motion. Just want to make that known.
Yeah, you did.
Oh,
Let me roll
Don't
persuasion on that.
trust that drunk guy.
We don't have to trust him. We just have to listen. I get. Remember, last time wasn't so bad.
I'm in the kitchen, right?
I'm still sitting down, even though I want to go to the front door.
So, Ismark has just told you that the Strahd is literally outside and waiting for all of you. So what? I know Mark said he's gonna prepare to go.
Nadar pokes his head outside. Is like, "Hello."
Oh my gosh.
Nadar,
I'm gonna go grab Ayla.
Nadar, you're sitting on this chair.
I pull Nadar back.
Hey,
Okay.
Nadar's been wandering for a while in my mind. I didn't convey that well.
You're fun. Who? I guess the better question is who is going to go investigate and who is not.
I
I'm
am.
gonna go grab Ayla.
Okay.
And
Is the goal for
I
everyone-
will. I will go with Zyle.
Okay. And Zyle, what is your decision?
Yeah, I'm going to investigate for
Okay.
sure.
Okay. I know Mark said he wanted to. And so that leaves Ayla once Elberth gets with you in the kitchen and I'm presuming relays the information in case it wasn't heard in the area. What do you two do?
T-Back. He was here last night. He gave us no answers. Can we just let them deal with it? I don't want to.
we can stand in the back, but we should probably go.
Fine. So I'm in the kitchen. Did I find any food while I was in there?
Food?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's still like a plethora of food left over from last night.
I grab a roll and I walk to the front door.
So everybody's going to investigate, and Ismark and Irene are kind of following behind all of you cautiously. They're just like, you have that. And you guys, whoever opens the door can see that Strahd is not on the porch, but on, like, if you have house and the wood line, he is about maybe a few feet in front of the wood line. So he's not close to the house, he's close to the wood line.
Okay.
With that ominous figure creature kind of pacing back and forth behind him, and he's just standing with his arms behind his back and just kind of staring all of your direction.
Good sir, I thought that you weren't coming back until we asked to meet with you.
Yes. Yeah. I was not planning on doing such. But this creature here is consistently pestering me about wanting to take its turn on all of you. And I am getting annoyed of its questions. So I'm here as a warning to all of you, as a friendly favor, if nothing else, that I have been quite occupied currently, as all of you have been here. So I have not been quite involved as I would have liked to have been with all of your dealings. But I assure you now that I am very much watching and waiting to see not only what your choices are, but if you are worthy of the choice. So make no mistake, although I hope in the end you choose the appropriate side. It is something that must be earned. And to earn it, well, there have to be challenges, no?
What sort of challenges?
Glad you asked, my dear boy. I will get out of the way now. Goodbye. And he turns into mist. And you see the creature take a step out of the wood line.
Oh boy.
Nadar pulls out his great axe.
I
can only
move
end well.
behind Nadar.
You hear a distant sound of wolves that seem fairly close. And although the creature is still kind of staying in the wood line because it hasn't decided how it wants to move yet, but before it moves, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 werewolves emerge from the wood line.
Where are they?
At the wood line right in front of you.
They're
you
just
guys-
not on the map.
Yeah, I don't have a map pulled up yet.
Right.
We're not going to do that tonight, just so you know.
Imagination.
Yep. So you
Maybe
guys
they're
probably
friendly wolves.
have about 30 to 40 feet in between you guys, to where they are kind of like spreading to where they're not all on top of each other and kind of covering the field so that there is no escape at this point. And,
I also have a Nadar in front of.
and the werewolves all kind of just like look eye to eye with all of you and have like a nasty snarl going about them as the creature
Nadar snarls back.
in the back now takes a second claw out and is kind of just watching to see what happens, as clearly is going to let the pawns go first. And that is where we're going to end tonight's episode, and we will begin next week's episode straight in initiative.
Okay. I've got a question. Is there like a balcony or like the entrance?
There's a porch. So like there's, when you go out, you're on like a, like a, maybe like, I don't know, 5 to 10 feet deep type of elevated wood platform before it goes down to the dirt.
Okay.
But before we get into questions, that is the end of tonight's episode. Thank you also very much for who has been watching on Twitch, and if you've been watching on YouTube, thank you so much as well. This is the part where we actually start to conversate with chat in Twitch. So if you've been watching this on YouTube, feel free to check out now, and we will see you next week. However, it is worth noting, if you want to stick around, we will try our best to make it obvious what we're talking about so that if you do stick around, it makes sense and is enjoyable. Likewise, to all you folks who are still here in Twitch chat, thank you for staying. This is the time where we talk to you, so if you have questions, let them fly. Anyways, proceed. Anybody?
I
Okay.
would like to try and make the wolves my friends.
Yeah, I mean,
Animal handling.
you can try.
I would like to say that my favorite moment was when Mark was like, "Okay," and then he went back to bed.
Yep. Look back.
That was
I'm surprised
great.
he happened just to come out. Yeah.
I just
I was surprised he came out. I thought he was gonna just like wake up and be like, "It's Nadar's turn, isn't it?"
It was just,
Yeah.
it was it's like One Punch Man, where he's okay.
Right.
So those of you that are in the Discord, I'm going to be starting a pool this week to decide who dies first.
I rolled
have-
a 20
Cool.
for animal handling.
I feel like if anything,
You're going to use animal handling against werewolves?
No.
I feel
Not that
No, no, no. against Nadar.
I feel like at the end of the next session, we're gonna have someone cursed.
Oh gosh. Yep. That was not how I anticipated that episode going.
I mean, like,
it's
it's within the character of Millard
Oh yes.
to
Yeah.
be like,
We got
okay, we've been in this house for a while. It's almost dawn, which is when thieves go out.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'm pretty sure we're safe here. As safe as we can be. He's like, I want to make sure I'm sneaking around without Ismark knowing that I'm sneaking around.
I'm hearing that the literal song is like, pretty sure we're safe. Nope.
Nope.
No, we're not.
Never mind.
Dang it. I made a mistake. No, I loved it. I thought that was perfect. I like
Nadar is a dwarf.
Miller just makes me
Yes.
laugh because it's like at bare minimum his choices are constantly just going to keep everything on its toes
Yeah.
drastically.
I-
It's great.
I feel like they're predictable enough to like you could prepare. They're like,
Sometimes
because it was either Millard or Nadar who was gonna go out of the house first.
For some odd reason, I predicted that would happen, but just not while it was still night. I thought,
It's like it's like dusky morning.
yeah, but it's Barovia. It's a different dusk.
Now, that makes me think, because that encounter just made me think that Strahd is in control of those beasts. Because, yeah, so.
I still trust him. Seems like a decent guy.
No, I don't.
I would actually say in like a more serious tone, this is gonna make me question Strahd.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still on like the I don't know what he's saying. Like I don't understand him as Millard. So he's like, this is all part of some test. And it's like, yes, okay. But right now we gotta kill wolves. So that's where
Werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know that they are werewolves? Or
They
do
look
we
like
just
werewolves.
think they're wolves?
Indubitably, they're standing on two legs.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah, like unquestionably werewolves.
This
That
can
are
only end well, right?
very acrobatic
this can
wolves.
only end
Perhaps.
in tears.
I mean, should someone not make it out of the encounter that is played by a specific person, I already have a character sheet for a backup, and next session would be a good time to bring them in.
Oh no! Do
You're
not
already
try.
planning on killing him off?
Do
No,
not
I never
try.
said that. I never said that. I just said if Nadar dies, I already have the backup character sheet made. I messaged to it about which backup character
I'm
it was
actually
earlier.
less worried about the wolves than I am about the shadow figure. Because like I
Yeah,
feel like
that's-
werewolves are definitely scary, but they're probably within the realm of scary that we've dealt with before, or like in our past adventures. Whereas the shadowy figure thing is like
Yeah. The big
more
thing.
mystically.
Mm-hmm.
How much do we want to bet that it's going to be the new enemy, the Jabberwock?
I don't think so. No,
Wendigo.
it couldn't be the Jabberwock.
I know what it is.
Yeah, I know you do.
Let me persuade the GM to tell us. 19.
The Dungeon Master.
A 19. It is not a pony.
I was worried about, like friendship and magic.
Yeah.
My Little Pony shows up. We're going to be friends, guys. Nope,
I don't
nope,
trust
nope,
you,
nope,
Stab.
What are you doing here? Just
You offer me
slash.
friendship, I offer you knife.
Turns out the things in Barovia that everyone's are terrified of are just cute and adorable things that try to be nice.
That'll be the next session.
It's backwards.
Nadar's like,
Next
and just
campaign.
runs up with
Friendship is witchcraft.
So, I know we have limited time before Lava's internet kicks out and before Millard has to go, so we'll go ahead and do the round robin of favorite moments of the night, even though we've kind of already hinted on that. But favorite moments of the night. So, Lava, for you, what was your favorite moment of the episode?
Okay, what's a roly-poly guacamole?
Got it.
Yes.
I mean,
and
Yes.
just the names again.
yep. Yep.
Like I just
In my mind, essentially what happened was he's just gonna roll you down the stairs.
And he did it for you.
And yeah, you took care of the hard part, really.
Yep. I was going to let them have to decide if they wanted to do that. And then it was like, no, well, we're here.
he did it subconsciously or unconsciously.
Unconsciously.
I was opening my mouth to say that I just nudge him with my foot right when you said he just rolls off. Okay,
Rolling.
I can do that.
Jay, was the answer you gave earlier like your favorite moment, or did you have a
Yes,
different one?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
He walks out of
That
the
was
room,
great.
says,
Nope.
"Okay, I'm going back to bed, guys."
Peace.
Why does it feel like one of those just adult moments? Like I'm too old for this. Just
Oh, Cow Snacks wants to know if we can breakdance fight the wolves.
Next episode will be a musical.
I don't see why you can't try.
West Side Barovia.
I don't know how well it will go, but you.
Nadar makes no
try.
promises,
Right.
considering Nadar has a -1 in intelligence.
Ricardo, what was your favorite moment of the night? And then SJ, if you would, when you want to go ahead and get AJ's extra thing prepped.
Gosh, it's hard to say for sure. I think Ayla's one-on-one chat with Zyle, though. Her exposition there.
That's true. That was
Followed closely by Mark just being like, "Oh yeah, all right, I'm going back to bed." like Miller said, that was
yep.
just walks out. Okay.
That. Yeah, sure. Miss Becky, what about you? Favorite moment of the night?
Just like, I think like stuff's going on, and Mark's just like, "Yeah, I'm reading." I'm like,
Everybody's like yelling at the bottom. Mark's just studying wizard spells.
I just picture this so just like, shh.
Or just ignoring it altogether.
I feel like it probably happens a lot where he's just.
He's doing
He
this,
might
and,
be like,
Jay throws a ceramic plate, so he's just.
It's real torment.
it's just like wipes off the pages.
I'm also surprised that you haven't said Nadar has a concussion.
It's like, this is normal.
Finally.
This is perfectly normal. This is fine.
Like, literally, because of how many times I've fallen downstairs, I've been ready to pull out the first aid manual and look at the symptoms of a concussion and start role-playing those.
I mean, he might need it at some point.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Words are hardy, right?
Liam, same
Yeah.
question. What was your favorite moment of the night?
Millard going outside and trying to be stealthy. That was funny. But
I was hoping he would. I was hoping he actually succeeded because that would have been fun, but it didn't work.
yeah.
Was not to be.
No, I mean you gotta respect the dice. One way or the other. Miss SJ, favorite moment of the night.
I mean, it was a lot of fun tonight. I always like the role-playing parts. I have a harder time with the actual fighting parts. So next week will not be my cup of tea. But I I enjoy the conversation that Ayla got to have with Zyle, and just like we kind of fleshed out the whole like she doesn't have an accent thing.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the chasing Nadar around the kitchen table. So, and then just being able to like run down the stairs, slam the door, and yell at Millard.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Somebody's got to do it.
Favorite moment,
Someone
getting to yell at Millard.
Getting to yell at Millard.
Of course. So, mine's going to be a bit of a cop-out because there's going to be multiple moments, but, I mean, some of you have
so
already...
was most of us.
Some of you have already said it, but, like, because I don't want to pick one. I just want to do all of them. Like, each of the roleplay moments of your watches of, like, the one-on-one of, you know, Ayla talking to Zyle, and then Miller talking to Mark, and Elberth attempting to talk to Nadar, but not really, but also talking to Zyle, and, like, you know, it's each of them had really good interchange between what the characters are and what they represent, and what their stories are, and how they're processing things, and it was just all really good. That was just fun, just especially like for me, because I just got to sit back and enjoy it like a viewer, which was very awesome. So that's my favorite moment of the night. There was a bunch of funny moments from tonight too, but I think
guys, we could have done it without him tonight.
Basically, I mean, I've been here. You go. Okay, they're good. Okay.
Well, so most of us were like here before you like came in to set up the stream, and we're like, "Where's 2-Bit? Is he gonna be here?"
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about what we would do if you didn't show up.
Oh gosh, that would be weird. I don't know what would happen. Like, well, the guy that streams is not here. What do we do?
Right.
Oh, we would just win, obviously.
We won.
Yeah.
We win the
What
game.
I said,
We beat Strahd.
what I said is I would start streaming and we would just go off the walls like we did tonight.
Yep.
It's true.
We
I
would
said
do
bye,
it.
bye to Lava, because I know he's gonna
Bye, Lava.
be dropping off any
All right,
second.
I
I don't
What
know.
happened to Jay?
I think
guess he had to go
it was time for
to
him
work,
to go.
maybe?
Oh, okay.
Boom.
Oh, there he goes. He just dropped out altogether. So I'll pull that there. So now we're good.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have to turn the camera on anymore.
Nope. You
Cool.
just leave it there.
Woot.
Okay, I'm okay with that. We'll just leave it, because I mean this is the chill part of the night anyway, so it's fine. Any
I'm
additional
up higher in this one.
any additional questions to chat or from the players from tonight's episode that you'd like to talk? Say,
Hi, Calico.
swings in as the episode ends.
Of course it's over. Well, this is the one where there is a time limit. All our other streams, they could just go on, but
Right. Yeah, this one always has a pretty harsh cutoff at this time. So we'll do a round robin as our last thing. I'll make sure I don't see anything in chat. Richard, did you have any questions or anything else you wanted to add about the episode?
Just want to say that it's been fun playing Zyle.
is he dying?
I did not have a good feeling about next week. So.
Oh no. Nah, you'll be alright. I believe in you guys. I think you'll do alright. You have been handed things with silver. Remember that.
The coins?
You got what, 2 daggers?
Mm-hmm. So you're not helpless.
Oh, I got a question.
Okay.
Does anyone here use a short sword?
Zyle could. I just don't have him with one right now.
You're looking for one and giving one away.
Giving one away.
So basically, I guess the question would be: is anyone proficient in the use of a short sword?
Yeah.
I am proficient in with the short sword. I do not have. Wait, do I? I didn't think. I thought I did. Hold on. Inventory.
Yeah,
Do I have a short sword?
You do. It's just
I
not
have a
equipped.
short sword. I
You have
have
it.
one.
You have a generic short sword.
Right. I have a generic short sword,
Okay.
but I don't have it equipped.
Is a short sword your Kinsey weapon?
What?
The weapon you can use for melee. That is.
Melee?
Yeah.
I mean, I have a staff that.
She can
But I
use it.
mainly
She just
use-
doesn't have it equipped at the moment.
Yeah, I don't have it equipped.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just thinking. What's it called?
Not yet, Calico. Although very close.
So close. So
Almost
much
got,
that.
almost got her killed.
What? No, it didn't.
You
Not this time.
you got slammed up and down from the roof to the ceiling like a rag doll.
That was like ages
A
ago.
long
too,
time
babe.
ago.
That was
That-
so long ago.
I know, but this is Calico
This-
that's asking. This is not someone that comes in every episode.
That's true.
Got to know the context of
Yeah,
who's
yeah.
asking.
Almost got me killed one time.
For context of the
For-
players, Calico doesn't really watch D&D, so she wouldn't be checking in a whole lot.
SJ, your Path of Kinsey is your or as your class.
Yeah.
Okay, so you get to choose a melee weapon and a ranged weapon to be your Kinsey weapon.
Oh. I don't remember going through that. Is that yet?
That might be
That's a
level
weird way to-
3.
I mean, we are level
If
3.
you are level 3.
Or... That's right, I forgot about that.
Yeah, you can select it. You just haven't done it yet. So like,
Where'd that be under? Because I thought
Well,
I
if-
did everything.
if you go to inventory, there's a checkbox on the stuff that you can add. So for you, there's a long sword, a short sword, and a dart. There's a black checkbox next to them, so you can
Right,
click.
yeah.
You could click any of those, and then it will be on your action screen.
The Kinsey weapon is in class under edit your character.
Oh, it's under class. All right, give me a second. Let me figure it out. Because she totally has class.
Yes, Q. That would be Nadar. But he didn't go through a house. He got yeeted across the yard and smacked into the side of a house. But yes, yeah, essentially, yeah, that's what happened.
Okay, wait. What am I looking for again?
Class under edit character class.
Yep, I'm at class.
You should be able to go to the bottom and find what Kinsey melee weapon you chose.
All right, we can do this after. I have no idea what I'm looking for.
Yeah, that'd probably be a better thing to do off screen.
Yeah,
It should be at the very bottom.
All the technical
you
stuff.
say that.
Yeah,
Open
it'll be
hand
there.
technique is what I chose. But
It'll be there later.
Yeah,
yeah,
you
I
can
don't
do
see
that.
anything else.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
you
do
can look
this
at it once
later.
we finish. So,
Right.
I know Richard said he was thankful for playing Zyle. Did you have any questions about tonight? Also,
No.
everyone congratulate Richard on his new vocal setup. Nice.
Yeah.
Woo. Nice mic. Sounds beautiful.
Yeah, I thought it was loud today.
I don't know if anyone
Like
noticed.
he came in, I was like, is he louder than normal?
I have not. I was literally able to plug it in. I haven't gotten to tweak anything on it.
You
So
don't have to. Your voice is beautiful.
Perfect.
Just leave it like it is, much like your face.
Oh.
Yeah, in case you didn't notice, there's like people fighting over you in the chat, by the way.
Yeah.
I know
Like,
they're
one of those
always
people.
Three different guys are fighting over you.
Yeah, we
Of
all
course,
know.
Calico.
We know
I'm used
them.
to that.
Yeah,
I know who one of them is.
Yeah. Well, one of them's
Well,
definitely Quentin.
Maybe.
too.
I only saw 2. Wow.
Crumbly was one. Was it Cal Snacks and
Yeah.
who was the other?
Quentin, which is Outrider 07.
Oh, I missed Quentin. Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, Quentin.
I think they're trying to work out sharing you.
I
Yeah.
doubt sharing is in their vocabulary.
Not everyone's on board with it yet, so.
I just want to point out, of all the people here, I'm the only one that has been to Richard's home and has stayed the night in the guest room.
Okay.
Didn't we
It's
go
not-
over this last time?
Not to brag, but just throwing it out there.
Just throwing it out there.
I think you just formed like 3 new enemies.
Yeah. just throwing it out there.
Coming
On
for
your
you.
head be it.
Yeah.
Now they're all hoping to win a sticker so you can come to their house and then they
That's
can...
true. We still have to do the sticker giveaway. Hey, Erlock.
But that's the same thing for Richard. He's the only one that's been to my house, too. Let's see. To go into the sticker giveaway, here is the name of the person. I don't know how to say this, so I'm just going to... Because I'll probably butcher it. I'm going to put it in.
Winner is.
However you say that.
Minogue? Like Kylie Minogue?
He was
No.
in
My
chat.
guess.
He was in chat earlier.
He was in chat earlier.
Yep. I think it was a first-time person, so I don't...
No.
Was it not?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
Oh,
I checked.
there were several first-time people that popped up at some point. I think
Yeah.
it was 2, maybe.
No. Oh, no. You're right. They were new. Followed since 3 hours ago.
There you go. So, I don't particularly know how to get a hold of you, but if you're still here, you want a sticker, and if
I'll
not,
tag them in the Discord. They're in TRG
gotcha.
dungeon.
Okay, cool.
Perfect. Thank you, Bex.
They're great little stickers.
You're talking about
Well,
the
it's not
business
that
line.
sticker that we're giving away.
Oh, just kidding.
We're doing the TOI sticker, probably.
The TOI.
Yeah. But yes, solid sticker, which is also on the back of Richard's truck for whatever reason.
It's also on my cup. And my other cup.
No, he's talking about my
No.
face.
Oh, yes. The face one is on the back of
Actually,
his truck. I don't know why.
But
Great
does
idea, SJ.
2-Bit have any stickers of Richard's face on his car or stuff is what I want to know.
No, and I'm a little hurt
my
by that.
my car is just actually decaled with Richard's face around it.
The whole thing.
Is it like a
It's just
wrap?
a big
Yes,
whole
vinyl
it's
thing
just
is
a,
It's like a
Richard's
vinyl
face.
big wrap of Richard's face. I drive it at all times. It's mostly a beard. It's not. It doesn't really look like a whole lot else.
The
That's
whole
why
hood is a
that's why
beard.
that's why the car is black. It's just his beard. just all of it.
Thank you for the bits. I like the little ghost. It's so cute.
Thank you, Anonymous.
An anonymous
Yep.
cheerer.
Hugh, I need to go back and look at that because I know they've been delayed, so I don't know if
On my truck.
I need to check on the status. of that. Glad
Misfortune, you
reminded
don't
me.
need anything on your truck.
New water bottle decoration. See if I
There
can
you
get
go.
it. I can't get it to focus. You're on my
Yeah.
water bottle now, Matt.
Great. It's
I'm
whatever-
surprised you're still awake.
It's what every man wants to hear. You're on my water bottle.
Why
now.
do you want to gibe?
Great.
Do you mean give?
Going to Gabe.
Why do you want to guide them? What does guide mean?
Erlock asked the question, can NPCs get bardic inspiration?
Yes.
Sure, why not?
You.
They want to give it to Strahd, don't they?
Strahd's
to
about
be
to get loaded up.
To be frank, you could give it to a bad character if you wanted to, but I'd not
Don't
request.
you
that
guys
do that.
dare! Don't you dare give Strahd bardic
look.
inspiration.
There's like
Look.
so many of us to choose from, and you want to give it to Strahd or
It's the
I'm not
player's
telling you to
points.
go to bed, Misfortune. I was just saying I'm surprised you're awake.
She's telling you to go to bed.
I did not tell him
She-
to go to bed.
That's what she's doing. We all know.
I just said I was surprised he was awake.
We all know it. Q's gonna give it to the wolves.
I'm gonna give it to the wolves.
Oh boy.
I
Oh,
don't
please
know-
don't.
I don't know if wolves would be inspired by a bard.
They might be inspired by chat.
Inspired to eat him so he would shut up.
exactly. Like,
True that.
this person sounds like I should eat them.
Thanks,
I mean,
Mom.
if they're werewolves, they are people. So
There's the-
My word. All right.
Calico's just bossing people around now.
Any final questions or comments before we wrap up tonight? I know we've been talking for a bit now because we did end a little earlier than normal. Not too much earlier, but like 5 to 10 minutes earlier than normal. We'll do any final questions or comments, and then we'll wrap things up for the night. And Dirk with the NPC naming. All right, let's see where this goes. Are
Good
you
man.
gonna hit
Do you have
that
a name?
up here, or are you going to send
it,
this
do it.
later?
Do a direct message to Matt via Discord.
Oh,
That's my
oh,
suggestion.
oh boy.
Surprise for later. Yippee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
Don't
Oh, boy.
forget, you still got to do a Dirk Banjaw the second NPC.
Mhm. Oh, don't you worry.
I'm
Don't
not
you
gonna let you
worry.
forget that.
Oh, you won't have to. It'll be glorious when it happens. Don't you worry.
Thanks, Sherlock.
I
Also,
have-
guys,
I have a plan.
our little emote, our little bat emote, he's on a shirt in the merch store. So, just letting you guys know that.
Shameless plug.
I'm personally a very big fan of the Meep Axe shirt.
Meep, 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 meep. Yep. Constant
Oh, okay.
reminder of why you either don't or, I guess, do allow DMs to make noises for you. It's like, yeah, I guess you can do that. Gosh. I can't tell you the amount of thoughts that went through my mind when freaking Millard's like, yeah, I'm just going to walk outside. Just thinking like,
As soon as he said that, your face said everything. You
oh, yeah. I was so worried for all of you. Like, immediately, I was like, please, Dice, don't
And
be...
gone outside. Would this whole thing not happen?
What do you mean by whole thing?
Like Strahd being outside again.
Yes, that would not have happened.
Dang it, Millard!
That's lovely.
That was, I told you, like, that was an option of what would happen if someone had gone outside before daybreak, which I thought, surely no one will do that. And
Okay,
wrong
call
to
my
think that.
brother.
I mean, I think it was a very Millard thing to do, so I mean, it's
I mean, it was on character for sure.
yeah, it's fitting.
What did I say? He's entropy on legs.
It fits, and it like
It's-
whether this is comforting or concerning, it could have been worse. The dice roll was like middle.
You
Middle
were like,
ground.
I don't hate them, so
Well, I try to always be
I just
fair.
hold a mild dislike.
don't be fair, be nice.
I try to be fair and like don't choose like on my
I rolled
own
a
all the
20.
time. I roll for it and see what happens. You rolled a
Yeah.
20 for what?
I don't know. I'll just save that.
Just
Whatever. My initiative for next week is
Hold
a
it
20.
for next week.
No, I don't want to
There
go
goes the 20s for
first. I don't want to go first.
It's just about to be
I'll
a,
save that for a crit.
it's
For
about
a
to be
good hit.
fun time next week. But that's gonna wrap it
right.
up for tonight, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and close it out. So thank you guys so much for watching and sticking with us throughout the entirety of this episode. We are greatly appreciative of it, and we love doing this and look forward to doing it next week. If for some odd reason you still stuck around on YouTube as well, we're not leaving you out. Thank you as well. You're crazy. I don't know if any of this last section made sense, but we tried to make it make sense. So until next week, that is all for now. Everybody say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Till next time.
Peace.